Welcome, everybody, to the Shadowed City podcast. I am your host, Larry, and this is The Shadows Within, and we are here to talk about DPW Wrestlekingdom 3. And that was a hell of a spectacle to see, and if you missed it, please go check it out. It is up there on the DPW Twitch page. It was incredible, full of action, full of thrilling storylines, entertainment, you name it. They had it. And we are going to have a very special guest in Mr. Davis once he arrives, Mr. Frost. I hope everybody is having a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. I sent you the invite, sir. Well, you sent me the invite, I accepted it. Hello, sir.
What's going on, sir?
I am very excited for this. I've been ready for this. I have it all written down. There was a little bit of a situation on one match that I will get to when we do get to it that I kind of got one just. Yeah. But every single match was incredible. I will say it was a great spectacle.
I agree. It was a long time coming, in my opinion. It took us a minute to get there, but once we got there, it was pedals to the metal all the way.
And you had a total of what I counted. Hold on. You had a total of 22 matches?
Yep, 22 matches.
22. 22. Perfect.
7 hours and 6 minutes.
Whew, for just 7 hours, it was, wow, man, it was incredible. You and KCW have those tendencies to go past like 7 or 6 hours, I swear to God. Welcome, Mr.
But it's
Briggs.
only but if you notice, it's only for our pay-per-views though.
Yeah,
Mr.
yes.
Briggs, I'm glad he's here too because I have something that I would like to announce, and he's a part of it because he, as the champion, still King of Dragons champion. Me and him have had our conversations on what's going to happen at our next pay-per-view. So I'll let him announce that when he's ready for that. But other than that, as you were saying,
Mr. Briggs, I would imagine you're allowing he could come on at any time period, or anybody that was at the event, or just
anytime he can come up anytime.
dope. You hear that, Mr. Briggs? You are welcome to join us if you would like to, sir. Would you like to go down? We'll go down the card from start to finish from that, and then I can ask some
Absolutely.
questions, or do you want me to get questions out of the way first?
However you want to do it, sir, I'm ready for it.
All right. I think I'll ask you some questions regarding said event.
All right.
What was your overall impression of the event? Did it meet your expectations?
Yes, it actually overseeded my expectations. Like I knew we were gonna put on a great show. So a lot of these matches were weeks, if not months, already planned. It was like, the build up to a lot of the matches was exciting, and you know, I honestly, I honestly tried to do it on a night where I didn't have to compete with an actual pay-per-view, WWE or AEW, which I did. I had to compete with AEW, but you know, oh, at the end of the day, I'm proud of everybody. Everybody did a hell of a job. All the women did a hell. The women just killed it. Um, the men, they knew how to bring it as well. We had some new people show up and show out, regardless of win or loss. They definitely raised an eyebrow on a lot of people, and they opened a lot of people's eyes. So yeah, I think it definitely overseeded my expectations.
Welcome, Mr. Logan Slater. Welcome, Mr. Dev. And I would have to say that whole night from start to finish was I was on the edge of my seat watching, and I was so anticipated for each one. It was stoppable, and I even had to go back and watch, even especially your match, which we shall get to last.
No problem.
How do you think the
I was.
crowd reacted to the matches and storylines presented?
I mean, um, we had 648 views right now, so I think the crowd really enjoyed what we had going on. So I mean, like it was very entertaining from start to finish. I'm hoping the crowd had a great time. I know, you know, I had a great time, and you know, at the end of the day, as long as the fans are happy, I'm happy. And like I said, 648 views. I kind of think we made a good impression, especially for our third one.
And this was only the third one with more to come. Can't wait till we see Wrestle Kingdom 10, right?
Oh, oh wow. Yeah, yeah, I can't wait till y'all see Wrestle Kingdom 4. I'm already thinking about stuff for that already.
Hell yeah, I'm excited for it, and I know it's going to be a great journey ahead. And speaking of Wrestle Kingdom, were there any matches besides your own or standout moments that or performances that caught your attention?
Jack Graves, a man who wasn't even supposed to be in that match, was given the opportunity to be in that match, with the exception that he had to put up the deathmatch title, so it was a winner take all. And he beat the undefeated. He's no longer undefeated, but Pac G has been on a monster tear since he's been here, and Chevelle Daniels, he's been doing his thing as well. And for them two to already have a match set, and then Jack Graves did what I did to Big Lou and Icon. He saw the opportunity. He walked into that match, and he walked out with two belts. To me, that was an outstanding performance. Definitely.
And Jack Graves was in a very brutal matchup against two opponents, which we shall get later to. But Jack Graves, never count out a Graves, no matter which one it is,
That
never count them out.
never.
How do you think this event will impact the future of DPW going forward?
Well, I feel like going forward, we're gonna see certain people branch out to other feuds. Like this doesn't close the book on the Leo and Frost episode. However, it's more like a to be continued thing. But with that being said, like there's a lot of people that can branch out and do like different things. And like with our next pay per view coming up, uh, it's gonna be a lot of people that are going to be jockeying for certain positions to be shown, and I just can't wait to see that happen.
Do we have the name for your next event? Or
Absolutely. It will be from Oakland, California, and it will be Bring the Violence, a all hardcore extreme rules night. Every match will be inside the steel cage or some kind of hardcore, extreme. Even the underground, which the name for the underground, we're going to be calling it Combat. Trial
I remember you
by
said
Combat.
Mortal Kombat last time you were on here, I believe.
Yeah, but I don't. I want to try to do something a little different.
I
So it's going to be called Trial by
understood.
Combat, and that is going to be where whoever wants to challenge for that deathmatch title, that's where they're going to have to fight at. And Mr. Graves may have to defend twice in one night. Never know. We'll see
I've seen the man
what happens.
defend a few times in one night, so he could do it again.
Absolutely. And at Bring the Violence, we are going to have our first. It was really not a first, but I'm calling it the Dog Pound match. It is a 3v3 Extreme Rules inside Hell in a Cell.
I remember
And
you announcing this last time we were live, and I am very anticipated for
yeah,
this.
there will be a men's dog pound match and a women's dog pound match. So definitely Bring the Violence is going to be an interesting one.
Most indeed, most indeed. And Dev said favorite match was I think he's saying Hod abuse match by Kaiva and Akira.
That wasn't supposed to happen. Taiva wasn't supposed to win the women's
The Queen of
Rumble
Dragons
match.
title.
Well, she won the Rumble match, so she did earn her right. And Akira, against all odds, and me either, because I thought she wasn't gonna win. She beat Emma Stone for the Queen of Dragons. It was best for business.
I believe Emma
That's the only
Stone
thing I
was
can
there
say.
that night as well.
Emma Stone, yep, we had fight night, Friday face off championship matches because Mr. Rail wasn't able to run Wrestle Kingdom. He's not able to run pay-per-views that often. So what I
Yeah.
do is I book all of his championship matches on my show because it cuts me down with matches I have to come up with, and he doesn't have to run it. So it's the best of both worlds.
Indeed. And freaking, I remember us talking about this a little bit last time, and freaking, I like this direction for that. I think it's a good way to go.
Dev can come up because Dev wanted to talk about night one because he did night one.
He
So he's
wants to come on?
more than welcome to
Okay.
come up. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, what was so? What was your
Hello?
what was your match of the night?
My
For me?
match of the night?
Oh.
Do you really want me to be do you really want me to be honest, or do you
I want
want
you
me
to
to
be
be like
I want you to be 100% honest. What was your match of the night?
your match?
Nah. Can I be
Ah,
honest?
I'm sorry, that was the one I was hoping for the most.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest?
I'm not gonna lie.
Leo and CJ stole the show.
I thought it was a
you
great
want
one. I was really
I
looking forward to that match out of all of them. I'm not gonna lie, but that death match that you talked about earlier, with the death match with Jack Graves, that was a good one too. But I was
yes,
like the one that I was anticipated for the most, and what really was a spectacle to me was that main event between you and Blake.
absolutely, I agree. And
Oh
I
my.
agree, and that's kind of why I had to make that had to be the main event for the show. It had to.
Yeah. That
I respect
was.
as much as I respect Damian Briggs. Damian Briggs is a hell of a champion, and him and Shockwave had a great match. It could have went a little longer, in my opinion, but at the same time, it was still a great match. But the story between me and Leo had to be the main event.
Indeed. And that was probably like one of the biggest stories going into there. Not saying that there weren't other stories, but that seemed like the biggest one that was like prepping even before the event came about.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, we talked about this the minute Leo walked in the door in Dragon Pro. We had to make it happen, and we just didn't know when. And then I had the idea of just letting us marinate and tell the story until Wrestle Kingdom, and that was the best place to have it.
Most indeed, most indeed. And
I
Wrestle
mean,
Kingdom was a great event all around. And Dev, can you hear, or can you not
can you
speak through
hear
here?
me?
Yeah,
Can
we
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you. We
Okay,
can
I'll
hear
just
you.
make sure. But
I can hear you.
I just want to piggyback. We waited for that damn CJ versus Leo match for a little over 2 years, and it delivered on every aspect that we expected to.
Yes, I have to agree with Jeff. That match has been talked about for the past 2 years. 2 years that we have never stepped in a ring with each other, and then to come full circle and how everything happened. It was great. It really was.
I'm glad. I'm glad CJ won because if he did win, I was gonna let him talk to him about it right off the bat.
I really thought it really could have gone either way, but like Blade with that U.S. title was defending it in Iron Man match after Iron Man match, and he showed that he had the resiliency to go. And we all know Mr. Frost can go as well. Like both of them have the ability to do so, and that was just one of those spectacles where it was like, oh, he could win, but wait. I think he could win. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a back and forth. Oh, I think he's gonna win. Oh, I think he's gonna win. You know?
Because there was a few. I'm not gonna lie. When he hit that Braid KO on CJ, I thought it was over. I kid you not.
I thought it was
I
over too when he hit me with that.
because I never seen people kick out of that. It put people down, but it was a great match. I think that defined the whole weekend of between night 1 and night 2. That was the match. I'll go ahead and say that was the match of the year. That's my
I can agree.
What's up, Phoenix?
I can agree.
But see, this makes me feel bad because I felt like coming into Wrestlekingdom weekend, we should let Corey did his night first, because I feel like wherever Corey does the show, that's the tone setter, right?
But
Because
see, I disagree. I feel like you guys that run before me should be the tone setters right there, because y'all set the tone. Because people want to come out. Because people do. There are on your show and they are on Johnny's show, and I want people to come out to see y'all, so that way they can see what y'all doing. Because if I go first and there's, I mean, I'm not saying you guys can't top that, but at the same time, it's like it makes sense for me to go last,
right,
because you set the tone, Johnny keeps the tempo, Rail brings in it, Rail comes in, even on a regular night. That's how it should go. Like
exactly.
you set the tone, Johnny keeps the tempo going, Rail keeps the tempo going, and then I close it out on Sundays. I like
So
that.
since we're talking about
Welcome,
that,
Phoenix Ways and Sean. Sorry.
can I tell you what was the match that kind of set the tone for the whole weekend?
Which one? Because I saw your show. Your show was great.
I'm
I loved it.
I'm gonna say it. I think that Hi
Welcome,
Rose.
Rose.
I know who. I know her.
Oh,
I
welcome,
think
welcome, Leo Blade. Okay, here's a real question: will Leo and Frost coexist while being DPW Tag
I
Champions in
think that's the
DPW?
big, I think that's the big question. That's the biggest question right
He's
now.
gonna do. Ross is gonna do what's best for business, and regardless of who his partner is, he's not letting them titles go easily. And
Right.
it just makes sense. But the question is, who's gonna be? I mean, let's be honest. Who's gonna try? Who's gonna step up and try to take them titles from Leo and Frost? You're not beating
Hi.
us anytime soon.
Hi,
I'm
Ceci.
sorry, you're
Hi.
not. Like
Ceci.
if you can, I don't care what company are you from. Two of us, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. So
We're good.
I think I agree with everything Corey says, because that Fox is gonna do what's best for business. Now to go ahead and answer the question, I think that failed foray for the Women's United States Championship really set the tone for the whole weekend.
That was a good,
Between
that was a good match. I'll agree
between
that was a good match.
Welcome,
between
Mr. West
B4
Scrim. Good to see you, sir.
before B4, Shay, Alex Ray, and Jen, because leading up to that match, there was a lot of issues in that match.
I
And
really didn't think that B4 was going to give that title up 1-on-1. It had to be some kind of multi-woman match to take that big chick out. I'm sorry,
Like,
that's a big hit.
exactly. So, because my thinking was when we started the season, I had to retire the Queen, the Queen's Gold Championship, which was currently held by Alex Wayne. I had to retire that title. because we
Mhm.
have all these men coming in. So I told
Yep.
Alex when I pulled in my office that I will give her an automatic title shot because I felt like I was doing her wrong. And then when it came to Jen and Shay, I had to add them to the match. I had to add them to the match. That was an issue that was going on since before I even got them over here.
They've been having issues even on my show,
It's
and
so
it's been an ongoing battle between them two.
exactly. And like you say, it was a great match. It was a great match. There was a lot of twists and turns. But I think the moment of the night was when how I want was it that was Jen that tapped out Shay to win that title.
That was poetic. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was poetic. 'Cause I was like, Jen needed that match. Jen and Shay were the two that needed that match the most.
I agree.
And the fact that Jen won the title by beating Shay, like Shay can say Shay can say that she deserves a one-on-one, but at the same time, before may want her rematch. I don't know. I think that Shay versus
Jen
B
versus
B
Jen
B
part three.
four. Nah,
Ooh.
I think that Shay versus B4 for that number one contender spot should happen,
So
or at least a triple threat.
I got some breaking news in pertaining before for tonight's show. Tonight,
Yeah.
in the first round match of the Eddie Guerrero Invitational, it would be B4 versus Megan Bain, 1-1.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. The
Um,
Fiendish Way says that he's going to destroy Bobo.
but
Okay. So these two got into it in the chat a couple of days ago, and Mythic, being the eyes and ears when I'm asleep and I'm not around, saw everything. And
wait. We got to quote that. The eyes and ears, or as he likes to call him, the self-proclaimed god of DPW.
yeah,
Welcome, Miss
well,
Ramon.
when the guy sees stuff that I don't see because I'm asleep or whatever, or if I'm not paying attention, he'll send it to me. So that way I know what I'm doing. So I went back and read what they were talking about, and I already knew that they had already agreed to a internet championship match, 2 out of 3 tables match, and they wanted that to happen. So I'm thinking to myself, why am I gonna put that on regular Nitro show? Oh no, no, no. So bring the violence. It will be Bobo versus, I can't remember his name.
Versus
Akane.
Fiendish Ways.
Akane. Akane, 2 out of 3 table match for the internet championship,
Uh,
and
he asked
from
you, Frost, who do you got, Bobo or Akane?
Akane. That's I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Frost has already spoken for Akane. He's already spoken for him to be his next king of the monsters. He's going to make that guy what he is, whether he likes it or not. And the only way to do it is for him to actually pay attention to what I do. Pay
Wow.
attention to what I tell him. And I guarantee you, before this year is out, he will be King of Dragons champion.
Wow.
That will be big.
I'm just
Now,
saying that's GM Frost saying that. Whenever he says that, it usually he's spoken into.
that is not a GM thing. That is a totally Frost thing.
Well,
This man
I'm
and
just
Frost
saying.
had one match together in KCW, and this man took Frost to the distance. It was a 2 out of 3 submission that went on for at least 35 minutes. And it was 35 minutes of back and forth. And he was whooping Frost's ass, but he would not tap him. I don't know. I don't understand why he wasn't slapping on submissions and tapping. But then Frost made him tap, and he made him, and it took another 15, 20 minutes, but it made him tap again. However, everything that I hit this man with, he ate it. He got up. He kept getting up. So he earned my respect that night. The confidence is where Frost has a problem with. You know, they're talking about, oh, before the match was even over, he was talking about he's going to lose and this, that, and the third. No. That does not that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for Frost. He took it upon himself to make him a monster. He's a great guy. He's already proven to be a great asset to Dragon Pro, but he can be better, and that's where Frost
Welcome,
leaves it.
Mr. Mythic. He said to you, "What are you doing? You aren't in frame."
He's being
Shut
coy.
up.
That's what he's doing. He's being coy.
Welcome,
That's what he's doing.
Crystal.
Oh,
I don't do the camera, so
so I got two things. But first, since Crystal
well,
King is in the chat,
yes.
since when I made an announcement for the Egg Rail Invitational, I said 2 people from different companies can come join this tournament.
Yep.
As of today, because I just got put into paper, Crystal King will be competing in the tournament as well.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Okay.
And I want to ask Larry from night one. What was your favorite match, Larry?
My favorite?
Yeah, from night one.
Oh, I feel honored.
Listen, Larry, you are the voice of the EFAT world, so I'm going to ask you.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what my match of the night was. My match of the night is when Mr. Uno walked in and walked out as a champion.
Yes.
That was my match right there. Y'all, like, people keep sweeping on Uno. Even Uno was like, he was like, he kind of down. Cause me and him had conversations in the past, and he was really trying to get himself back in that King of Dragons spotlight, but he could just never really do it. So he wanted to do something different. So I told him the draft was coming up. I told him he got drafted, and he was cool with he was cool with being drafted. And then he was like, he was like, so do I got to start from the bottom and work my way up? And I was like, well, as you remember, way back when, Deb did have men on his show because me and you were on his show fighting for a United States title at one point. So, for him to bring men back to his show, yeah, it only made sense to put him in the match.
The interesting thing about that was where I was booking the World Title match, I had to choose. It was very hard decision for me. Do I want to put in somebody that's always established himself as a world champion like Uno, or do I want to go the other round and put 2 new people in it? So where I booked Ghost Edwards versus Big Money Grip, which was a barn burner, by the way. Just saying.
It was.
Congrats to
It was.
Big Money Grip. I have to say, I knew I had to put Uno in some type of championship match. So
You know what was a good match? I'm sorry that cut you off because he's sitting in here. You know how it's funny how some people call Brock Lesnar a part timer, they call John Cena a part timer, they call The Rock a part timer. But when these part timers come in and they kick somebody's ass and then they leave, does anybody even say anything about that?
They try to deny it, but you do have a point.
Now, can we say the fact that I was gonna say, can we say the fact that Mythic just came in and whooped Chambers' ass and then
And I don't think it was even that long either compared to
it
the other
wasn't that
matches.
long of
The
a
other
match.
matches were longer. That did not feel as long. No offense.
and
there's that match could have went. I was like, that match could have went a little longer, but Mythic act like he got shit to do, so I just don't. I don't.
He's like, I need to beat this fool. I have shit to do.
But
I gotta go. It's like he teleports into the ring. He has his match. He teleports out, and then it's just like, all right,
he goes like this.
next.
He goes just like this.
Alexa Reigns' match was my favorite, by the way, Dev.
Okay. I have to give you shout out to Alexa Reigns because Larry, you have sat down an interview with her and been very well known leading up to this match that she is not 100%. And I even doubted her, and I never doubt Alexa Reigns. But
I doubt her all the time. But to be fair,
Where to be
I
playing,
doubt
man?
my
Go
own.
throw it out there, man. Throw it out.
But to be fair, I doubt my own characters too. So it is what it is. Anytime I get in a match with somebody that I know I struggle with, I'm like, well, they got this match won.
But
Mythic fights
I
when
mean,
he sees fit. Conquering hell takes a lot of my time. That's what he
Alexa,
said.
can
on the next
we
episode of Mythic
Mythic
Ball
Ball
Z.
Z?
Oh no.
But can we just sit here and give a round of applause to the job Alexa has done since getting into DPW? Win the
I agree.
championship, win the championship, and defending it as long as he has, without
I'm glad you said that, Jeff. I'm glad you said that.
without complaining.
I give her all the props in the world, but there was one thing that she hasn't quite done yet.
And
You
that's
know
be
what that is.
clever. And that's be clever.
And they've already had one match together, and it didn't go Alexa's way. Now they need to have a second match,
Exactly.
and that's
I will.
just like Leo and Frost. Alexa and Kaiba is like a very big deal, and like
I will
people don't
talk
understand how big it is that is.
talking about that. I will get rid of Alexa Leo. See it. I can confirm. See it's in action tonight. Alexa is Miss No Days Off over here on Crash Out, as y'all know. I will talk to her. I'm sorry, my earbuds going off in my ear every time I say Alexa because the Alexa earbuds.
Welcome,
but
Mr. Mighty. Good to see you, sir.
I will talk to Alexa, see what she wants to do next, and I will get back to Kaeva about that because this is a match we want to see again.
They got plenty of time because
Right.
Kaiba has Chanel Baltimore to worry about,
Oh,
and them two
God.
have extended history as well. And Baltimore will get her shot at the Queen of Dragons at the Bring the Violence pay per view.
Apparently, Akane wants to see a match between Kaiba, Alexa, and Crystal. Welcome, Mr. Calvin Ricks. Hello, sir.
But
Welcome in, sir. So
It's good to see you, the Mighty. Hope you got your rest.
let's continue with the recap.
but
Yes, sir. We shall
Mariah
go
May,
down.
can we just talk about Mariah May though? She's played mind games for weeks, and she's very talented. So I'm about to do something I didn't think I would do again. I have as of earlier this morning, I have signed Mariah May to a full-time Crash Out contract.
That's cool. I didn't need her over here anyway.
Also,
she was too much of a.
But also,
for me.
Also though,
I got a few princesses to worry about.
McCoy, wait. Also, I have signed Mina Shirakawa to a full-time contract as well. So,
and we are sad to see her leave. We are sad to see her leave Dragon Pro Nitro, but you know,
yeah.
I mean,
and they will be in action tonight in tag team competition against a tag team that has returned to tag team action. I'm not going to spoil that. I'm just going to let you watch.
Mythic says, so how about Kaiba versus Alexa and DPW version of SummerSlam? And hey, Dev from Calvin Ricks, with your new show, No Shade, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Calvin.
I told you changing your name would do something.
Calvin, I just got to address something. Hearing that from Calvin Ricks means a lot because he kind of showed me the ropes a little bit of being a successful leader.
A lot.
I was going to say. You're right, a lot. I should
wow, a lot.
He's right. No, he's right though. He's right though. Hearing him say that means a lot. There's still things I personally believe I could do better. I will admit that. I'm trying, but that means a lot. It's because
we get there. It takes all it does is it takes time. You don't just do this shit
really
overnight.
does.
It happens. It takes
Yeah,
time.
I'm according
I'm
to
learning there.
according to tell you, because I have on my own company. We don't talk about that. So when I jump in the chance to come aboard, and I love every bit of it. DPW, I'll say this: DPW is the place to be. This is where we have the best in-ring competition, in my opinion, week in, week out. So,
I agree, but at
I
the
agree
same
with Mr.
time,
Mythic's comment. Everyone has room for improvement. It takes time.
so, so,
absolutely.
so, so,
And
so,
I would like to say that, and I would like to also add on to what you said, but it's not just, Nitro and Crash Out and Chill Out and Face Off. It's like everybody, the
exactly.
promotions that partner with us, the people that come in and watch. I always like to say thank you to everybody because like all of this shit, the numbers, all that other stuff, that's all cool to me and everything. But to me, that's because of you guys. That's not because of me.
Exactly.
That's because of
I
you
feel
guys.
like,
That's
I feel like
because
the
of like
biggest,
all of y'all creations and everything.
I feel like the biggest misunderstanding is that when you do an EFAC, you should partner with other EFACs. It's all about your EFAC. But in realization, all the EFACs working together, that's what makes things work as perfect as can be. Well,
It would
it's
make things fun. That's what
well,
make things fun.
whereas this IWA team partnering up with AOWE or DPW teaming up with KCW. It's all about teamwork, cohesion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I got a
No,
question for
no more
Larry.
questions. No more questions. Let's get
Oh,
to the recap.
yeah, let's get. I asked you after that, so let's get to the recap. But we just talked about the King's Gold Championship. So congratulations to Uno, because that match was a ball burner. Every time you
That
see
was
somebody hit a potential. You have Devontae hitting his cross down. You have AJ Scott hitting his physical. Wolf Danger also hitting at crossroads. And then when everybody was down, I don't know. You
you
just knew
know
Uno was gonna win that.
you,
You just knew it.
2K really screwed did this year because last year the pretzel was a submission and he was able to tech you out. This time they only made it like a regular move, which is like they
Oh
let go after
wow.
a while. Like if you notice it, like I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
ever
noticed
noticed
it.
it or not. I noticed it that like when he had it in 24, he put the pretzel on you, you were tapping out. This year they
Um,
made it as like a move that they hold it for a minute and then they let go. That's kind of dumb to me.
yeah, it is.
They've done
But
that
also
with a few moves that it's just like, why would you do that, man? Like,
exactly.
remember how
I
like
think
some of the SmackDown versus Raws they would do that like for like
yeah,
almost every move.
yeah.
It, it just it just like the only reason why because I saw it because I had him booked in a match one day and I was watching it and I was like, why you let him go? And then I went to go and then I went to actually look at the move and yeah, they changed it. I was like, that's some bullshit. Like they really didn't have to do that. That's what made to me that's what made Uno different because nobody had that. There was only maybe one or two people I knew, and that's doing this from 22 to 25. There was only three people I knew that had that move, but Uno
Right.
was the only person that had that move, and now they just fucked it up because
I wonder.
even he was pissed because
I
he
wonder
even
if it's
he
because
was like they screwed me.
I wonder if it's because they have all these new stuff coming in too. Because you notice they do that when you have all this new stuff coming into the game.
All right, let's get to the recap.
My shocker of night one was I'm gonna I'm gonna catch a super kick for this. What I'm going to get rid of. I just know it. How about Rose Wilson tapping out Melissa Rain in that underground match? Ooh, the the crash out. No one wants to mention specialist got tapped out, and
Well, Rose Wilson, you got to remember too. Rose Wilson rolls with AJ Woods, and AJ Woods is known for tapping people out.
yeah,
So I
I'm
mean,
not
Snap tap
saying
for now. tap is one of his specialties.
Is
I'm
one
not
of
saying.
his specialties. Yeah.
Let me get this out the way. I'm not taking anything away from Rose Wilson. She's a superstar. I I thought this match was going to end in knockout. I really did. So the fact that she got Melissa Rain to tap out and was huge because that's not a rivalry built on hatred. That's a rivalry built on respect. Those two respect the hell out of each other. So that's why I said when I think about who's going to be the opponent for Melissa Rain for that Emerald Championship at Wrestlekingdom, first name and only name on my list was Rose Wilson. That's a rematch that the world has been asking for a long time. And they did in the DPW's first ever underground match. And I say this a lot, but I will give credit to all the women on the roster because, especially on my roster, the women set the tone, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think the shocker from outside that, the fact that that tag team championship match ended in count out, oh my God, that was a good match just for the end and count out.
Are
That
you
pissed me
planning on
off.
giving them? Are you planning on giving
So
them a rematch?
so I have talked to both sides. I talked to the Gingers. I talked to the Sisters of Battle. At West Coast Takeover, do their rematch for the tag time titles. Except there will be no pinfall, no count out. Well, there will be pinfall. There will be no count. It'll be a 2 out Peace Falls Hell in a Cell match. It feels
Right
like
on.
because this was a unification match. We were unifying the Diamond Division Tag Team Championships and the Crash Up Tag Team Championships. So due to us not having side masters anymore, which I'm really sad to see it go, we had to retire. We had to unify those tag titles. So before we even think about crying on number one contender for those tag team titles, this match has to get out the way. And then, what about Sakura Chan returning and just win the damn Queen of the Mountain match? Within like 5 seconds, I think his phone died. But Sakura Chan returning was huge. This we have not seen him since we traded her to Nitro a few months ago. She was injured. She came back and she win that match within like 5 seconds of the match starting. I'm very eerie because I've heard ramblings. She has a target on that world title that Alexa's holding,
Mhm.
and you know Alexa, she's not gonna back down from a fight.
Indeed.
But at the same time, I'm concerned for Alexa's health. Psycho Chen has put people on the shelf, so we'll see what that
Mystic said
leads.
he would have booked it 2 out of 3. Hell in a Cell would have been my match booking for this title match.
Great minds think alike, Mister. But then the Spade Championship Banner match, Goldberg versus Ospreay, great match. I do have some news regarding that. Will Ospreay will defend that title tonight during the show. Christian
Uh,
King wants to know is it okay if she says
yeah,
something?
that's cool. Um, I'll add her. I think she may have to send me a request to do so.
And
And Corey, I think, is having some technical issues, but he will still be able to come back in.
I will hold it down for you, Corey. Don't worry. But yeah, Christian King though, her and Alexa go back. Those two are actually, believe it or not, training partners. So I'm very excited to see what she can do in this tournament because we got some ball burners on this in this tournament based on the
Indeed.
people that we invite. So this tournament is invitation only.
My
So
bad. I hit the wrong buttons.
You're all good.
It took
What
me
happens to
forever
the
to get
best
it.
of us here?
It
It
took me
would.
forever to get back in it because
Welcome,
it
Miss
was like I
Crystal.
had to close
Well,
everything.
she just left.
But can
See,
we continue with the
yeah.
recap? So Deb, be quiet.
I'm going. I'm continuing with the recap. You shut up. You want to go? You want to go? Me and you right now.
Don't you have a show to do?
Yes, I do actually.
All right, so
But
let's get
anywho,
through this. So let's get through this.
but I think, and then the World Tag Team match. I'm very surprised at that outcome.
You guys
Oh,
can hear me okay?
yes, we
Yeah.
can. Oh,
Yep, I can hear you.
Welcome, Miss Crystal.
Oh, it's been forever
Welcome, Miss
since I've
Crystal.
been back into the wrestling circuit. It's been I don't know, a couple of months. But I know they go
Wow.
me. Oh my God. I did not want Jackson to see me. Oh, sorry, that was my dad. So I gotta keep it clean. Not expecting him to be in this live. But anywho, I was in the wrestling circuit. It was actually a great experience from every company that I was in, DTKA and all the other places. It was actually pretty good. It was really hard to shed the Crystal King image and trying to get away from Shaolin King's shadow, because when people see me in Shaolin, they see us as a couple, and I'm trying to break out as my own person.
I
In a
can see
way,
that.
and I not see why a lot of people see it, but they noticed that I was becoming more of the villain in the locker room. But I do have some people I do respect, and I'm gonna give you the following, like Mina Harkless, who is Krista. I fully respect her. Our rivalry was really good. Our I admit our characters were drained, but it was a very great rivalry. Tori, I respect her as well because she and I put up a good rivalry too. Now Alexa and I were good friends. We never got in, I don't know remember if we got into the ring, but since
you
we're
did
Florida
actually.
buddies, I think I did.
Uh, that was a barbarian match. That was back in DTKA. I remember that.
It was a crazy match, but I gotta admit, from two crazy women from Florida themselves, that's why a lot of people now notice when I say Duval and she said Miami, we meant that that's our Floridian joke. But pretty much
That's
when it
awesome.
comes to the next future of all the other characters that I'm in, I can't wait to see how my character flourish. I admit in All Out War I wasn't doing my best. I wasn't giving it my all, but I had to suck it up and actually I know how to take a couple of L's, but I'm gonna bounce back like I always do. They're not ready for me.
I, I
Absolutely.
think the one. I think the one thing that we have yet seen, and I'm speaking this from experience, from my time as Alexa's advocate in DTKA, we didn't see enough of Crystal King as a world champion. And I think down the line, because I talked to Alexa about this too, just today, we as well.
Hmm.
If in this tournament, if you win this tournament, I can see you going after that world title.
Ooh. Crystal
Strong chance there will
King,
be.
didn't didn't I make one of your characters at one point?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
how.
you have.
Oh, okay, yes. I was
Because I think
yeah.
it was for which for which show for which show I'll tell you.
For
It was for
um
WWUSA at the time.
Oh yeah, I decided to change the look a little bit. Either when I saw the other look from I think it was one of the other shows, I was a little self conscious because I didn't like how Crystal Hyrule looked because she was a
Mm,
little too pudgy, and I don't know. Me and body issues go hand in hand.
I
But then
understand
it's
that.
just me in all black and mostly blue. I said, this don't seem right to me. I don't mind the blue
I
hair.
didn't
I don't mind the blue
I
streak
just
in
I
my
just
hair.
did it to yeah.
Well, Can I just say,
Everybody has a
you,
different style.
you,
It depends on what you
you,
like. Go for it.
I
I
just had
guess
to
we talked
I
about
just
this
had
a
to
lot.
go.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead. No, ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies first.
I just had to go ahead and pull out my best look. And I know I got some of the good ideas from a few other current females in the roster in WWE, and I'm really hoping for maybe I said, okay, I'll work with this, I'll work with that, and I just need to improve my storyline a little bit more.
So
What's
I
I'm
up?
just
know.
gonna throw it out there. I'm just gonna throw it out there too. Like, I have a really great, and Dev can back me up on this one too. We have a really great person on our roster that's part of our admin team that does crazy work on women wrestlers. And like, if you ever need any help, I'm sure she can help you out because she's done not all, if not all, but all of the women on my roster. And
And she did Alexa too.
I'm a big person where I don't let people touch my calls. I do that shit by myself because no one knows how to do it but you. And I let her
Mhm.
do Kaiba, and that's the best I've ever seen her look. And like, so I 100% like if you want your call to look really, really, really good, like she can do it. And like she's really good with all kinds of like she's made people for my roster, for Dev's roster, for Johnny's roster, and for Rail's roster. And
Shout
you know,
out,
I'm just
shout out
throwing
to
it out there.
Panda.
The
Which
Panda
I
Beauty
can't wait to
Shop.
Alvin
see
is
that. Well,
former Climax owner. Was a great show.
Yo,
whoever involved, I would love to whoever it is, let them contact me and I'll get in
Yes,
touch with them.
yes,
Welcome, Mr.
I
Beemore, and he
can
made
set
a
that up.
comment. You
No,
don't like how
wait, hold
you.
on, hold on. Be more. I love your CA your CA W. Yours is fine, be more. I was talking about the others in another fraction I was in the
And
past.
other leagues.
That's the one I was talking about.
We're talking
but
about the past.
Yeah, the
so
past one
Okay,
that was me subconscious.
Crystal, I do have a question for you.
no
Shoot.
more questions. Recap.
This is my last one. This is my last one. This is my last one.
All right, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It just A1 on the current DPW roster you would like to face. Who would it be?
Wait,
Ooh,
repeat that again?
good question. Good
It
question. I
just
want to know that too.
it just A1 on the current DPW roster, no matter the brand, whether it's Crash Out, Nitro, Face Off, or Tree Out. Who you want to face?
All I know, I'm just gonna be blunt. Anybody but Barbie. I'm getting tired of her. Trust me, I was literally like
See,
every time I go against her,
isn't
she wipes the
isn't Barbie
floor
on
with me.
your show? Isn't Barbie on your show, Dev?
he is the current Rose Division champion.
Yes, she
Oh,
is,
even more
and yeah, she
incentive.
washed me. She washed
But no more.
me.
But talk about Barbie. He had a hell of a match against Sherman Memorial last week too. So
Yes, I will give that. Barbie came out. She showed out and she walked out. I give
and
her props on
I,
that one too.
a real quick note, it was real sad for us to see Angel Ring go. But talking with Alexa, because it's her daughter and everything, we agreed that she needed to forge her own path. So
Barbie's here.
But yeah,
Mm.
for the record, being I love his looks when he does my looks. Those are awesome because it's just the way I want it to go. Because
Yes.
the way the way some people actually did my character, she seems too conservative, and if she's not too conservative, she's look too wokey. I look like Nia Jax's demented
Well,
cousin.
the one I did for you guys sent y'all sent me the pictures, so I just went off of the pictures I had, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought she looked really good. I like she wasn't. I didn't give her a really big body size because I was just going on what the picture had, but then I also was going on what I thought you would look like as a wrestler. And like
Yeah.
I, I thought it was cool. I mean, you wrestling in the dress, hey, that's all you. You wave at the crowd on it,
Yo,
that's all you. That's
Only
yo,
all
thing
she
is,
you
was
do.
for color. It's just
Hey,
she was
I,
doing it
I,
good too.
I, what the client requests, that's what I would do. If they say I have creative freedom, I know
hmm
no problem. But if that's what they want, that's what they get. And on top of it too, you killed it in that dress. I don't give what anybody say. You killed it in that dress.
And you know what?
Yes,
I'm the only,
she did.
you know what the funny thing is? I'm the only wrestler in the roster that rocks the dress and actually got away with it.
Yo, so that was funny because I was talking to Alexa
That
about that
is
because
true.
you took it to the
Hey,
limit
what
and
about
I'm not touching
Medea?
that.
Don't be leaving out Medea.
No,
Come
listen,
on
I love
now.
Medea. I love Medea, but Medea's legendary. Okay, Hall of Fame, Hall
I
of
seen
She
Fame.
rocks
Medea.
the
I
dress.
seen Medea
Come on
fight.
now.
I seen I seen Medea fight. I seen Medea wrestle. I'm calling Medea out. Cross Medea 1-on-1. Let's make it happen.
I will get
Well,
her immediately. We will
well,
sign the contract. She's in jail right now, but she could come out to wrestle.
We can make it a we can make it a jail
Hilarious.
make it a jailhouse match. Oh,
Oh,
she don't have
perfect
to get up.
house dance style, right?
She don't
Because she
have
does
to
have
get
to
up.
jump up
I'll
soon,
come to
so it
her.
works perfectly.
I'll come to her.
so
The funny thing is, it's me
I'll
and
send you
the
the
announcer. Every time he
hashtag.
gets my name wrong, you know,
so
every time
Larry,
he gets my name wrong, he called me Crystal King. I was like, "Ay, are you trying to get sued?" You know,
so Larry,
Yeah.
it was like a tongue in cheek joke, and
so
it
Larry,
worked in everyone's favor.
I just want you to let Medea know by order of DPW management, Joe is brother Joe is bald from ringside.
Who? Oh,
Joe,
he's
Medea's
not even
brother.
going to be there. Joe never comes there. He's always with Blind Man. He's always drinking with Blind Man
And
or getting
blind
high.
and we all know that blind man loves the drink, so he'll be all right. But
Oh,
okay,
Yeah,
he's a very nice
so let's
gentleman. He also
go.
likes to snort coke and talk about Nam.
So let's
did
can we
we
go
get
to
sued because he was
can we do
doing a
my night
match?
of Wrestle Kingdom now?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done. I'm done because I gotta get to the Gorilla. So,
All right,
gentlemen,
all right.
So if there's no more questions for me, I better get going before my food get cold.
Peace.
No problem.
gentlemen, madam.
Lady.
Now how could I get out of this?
Uh, there. Yeah. Chaos. Gotta
oh,
love it.
oh Lord,
So,
I apologize for
no,
that.
you are good. This live is probably gonna be one of my longest, if not the second longest.
But it's
But
gonna be very entertaining.
I know that you're excited now. We get to do the
Yes,
official review.
absolutely. Let's
So
do it.
you started off the night with
Hmm.
a challenger and champion. The challenger being Miss J. I'm gonna get her name right. Saray, right?
Yes, yes.
Miss J. Saray versus the DPW face-off champion Leah, who lost to Jay, and she became the new champion.
So on Face Off, they had a match. It was a pick your poison kind of match, kind of deal that he was doing, to
Yeah.
where whoever won got to got to choose the stipulation in that match. Jay, Miss J, or her team won, and during the live stream, she said she wanted a 2 out of 3. Uh, she said the weapons, and I made the match happen. And honestly, I was like, I didn't really expect them to go the distance. Like I well with the with 2K and the sliders, I did expect him to go the distance. But the fact that Jay was like, I'm not having that. She's gonna walk in. She's gonna take that belt. She's gonna tell that girl to get some sun, and then she walked out with the title. I mean, it was a good match.
And she was bloodied. She was bloodied too.
Mm. Yes, that match was very physical. That Lisa chick, as much I don't know too much about her. I seen her on Friday Night Face Off, but she is a very no nonsense. I'm gonna come in there, I'm gonna kick your ass, and I'm gonna leave. And
Exactly, and that's what she did.
that's what she tried to do. That's what she tried to do. She came in, she kicked that. Jay said, "I'm not having that."
Uh-huh.
She took her belt and she left.
Exactly. Jay came out victorious, and Jay, we know what she's about. If I recall, she was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion for Climax.
She
If I'm not
was.
mistaken.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And I will admit too, when Friday Face Off was under FCW, Jay Saray was Kyba's kryptonite for a very long time. It was like Kyba could beat a lot of people on that roster. She was very dominant, but when it came to her and Jay seemed to always come out on top. And it was I want to say, very, very recent that Kyba started actually collecting wins over her. And in other promotions, especially in VWC, Billy Beasley, they've traded the title between each other multiple times. Like, Kyba calls her favorite playmate because that was her first and greatest rival out of everyone. So she has a lot of respect for Jay Saray. So when she saw that match card, even she agreed that Lisa had her work cut out for her.
Indeed so, and we are interested to see what will happen for the future of Jay Saray as she holds this championship going forward. And that match set the tone for a match that I know that you're very familiar with, Gorilla Cruz versus Johnny Superkicks, which Gorilla Cruz won, but they have a
Oh,
long history together.
so this goes back to Johnny's rookie days. Johnny just won the King of Dragons Championship, or he won the world title, or Universal, whichever one it was at the time. Because I know Mythic is
Okay.
gonna try to correct him sometime down the line. Uh, Johnny won the title, and as soon as he won the title, Gorilla Cruz made his return and attacked Johnny right after he won the title, and that set the tone for Gorilla and Johnny. And Johnny beat Gorilla, and so that's been eating at Gorilla. Gorilla went off for a while. He did his own thing. When he came back, they had a match, and Gorilla won. They had that rubber match, and then Johnny won. So they needed this match. This was their thing. They each had their own opportunity to get into the King of the Mountain match, and they both lost. So why not put them against each other at Wrestle Kingdom? Because it was always talked about. They wanted that match, so I made it happen. And Gorilla walked out. Gorilla has his eyes set on that King of Dragons championship. And there's always that what if, because we could possibly see Gorilla Cruz and Damian Briggs down the line for that King of Dragons championship. That would be, oh, that's best for business right there.
And I think that would be perfect now that Damien does not go by King no more. He goes by the Beast.
Yes. So let's see if the Beast can go to Ape City and survive. The Destroyer went to Ape City and survived. Barely, but he survived. Me and Cruz got history as well, and eventually those two are going to meet as well. It's a lot of what ifs going on leading up until these next couple of pay-per-views. And then you have to throw Leo Blade in there because he's an opportunist. You never know where he might strike. You know, I'm going to announce this now rather than wait. But Leo Blade has been moved to the King of Dragons division, and he will be so this next show, because like I said in the address to the roster, Ricky Otunga has decided to cash in his King of the Mountain championship, but it is not the champion that people thought. He's cashing it in on Ross. So at Bring the Violence pay-per-view, we are going to have Ricky Duncan versus CJ Frost for the South American Championship. Now, that leaves
That'll be a banger.
question mark Oh, that's going to be a great one because the match style has not yet to be determined, but they're going to face each other. But that leaves a big question mark on who's going to face Mr. Damian Briggs at the Bring the Violence pay-per-view. So, Mr. Davis has informed me that they will be a fatal four-way elimination number one contender match, and that match will determine who will face Mr. Briggs next for that King of Dragons championship. However, there's a twist. Mr. Davis is allowing Mr. Briggs to pick the four competitors that will be in that match.
Interested to see who Mr. Briggs chooses.
Absolutely.
And Mythic said, I think Johnny beat him, I think he's talking about Gorilla, in the Elimination Chamber. Johnny first title reign. Gorilla wasn't in DPW at the time because he and Mythic fought in KCW. So I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Universal run because when Mythic fought Gorilla in DPW first live show, Gorilla was Universal Champion, which Gorilla took the title off Andre Robertson, the big dog.
Yeah, whatever he said, I'm cool with that. I don't even remember. I don't care. I'm not gonna argue.
Oh.
That's my historian when it comes to Dragon Pro. He knows a lot more than I do. So whatever he said, that's what happened.
Understood.
Hey, I got it. That's why I pay him the big bucks. He got to remember shit.
Hey,
I
it's
should know
wonderful.
though.
He said he wasn't arguing.
Yeah, I know.
Next up was the DPW Women's Fatal 4-Way for the Tag Team Championships with the Hudsons, the challengers, Team Bring It, the challengers, Red Faction, the challengers, and the champions, the Banger Sisters, and the Hudson walked out the new champions.
They all three of those teams have been fighting each other for like 2 months now, trying to see who's gonna challenge for those tag team titles. Now, two of those teams did hold a victory over the Banger Sisters. So, but when they had their match to determine the number one contender match, it ended in a countout. So the higher ups decided to put all three of them in there. And the Banger Sisters, they knew what they signed up for. They knew what they was gonna get into, and like they defended them titles at least once or twice, so they are owed a rematch. But the Hudson sisters walking out, I honestly, I wasn't surprised. I kind of figured they were gonna walk out with them titles, only because like the Hit Squad is a new team. The Red Faction, they're a new team. So them being in this big spotlight in their first major pay-per-view, they might have had them jitters or something. But the Hudsons and the Banger Sisters, they've been in them kind of situations before, so they know how to handle the crowd and everything. So it was a learning experience for the rookies. However, even though the Hudsons are kind of rookies, they came in and they took some titles, and congratulations to the Hudson sisters because they got a long line of women looking for those tag team titles, and they will be defending those tag team titles at the Bring the Violence pay-per-view. So never know who they might be facing.
And I just have to say, for that Fatal 4-Way women's match, I feel like if it was underplayed, it shouldn't be. I thought that match was incredible. I thought the way it went about it, I really love these kinds of matches when you have four different teams trying to climb up a ladder to get something. And I thought it had that feeling of like a spectacle to be sure. You know what I'm saying?
You were kind of hoping that the Banger Sisters had this, like this was their kind of match, but like all four of them teams in there, it could have went either way, and I loved it because that's exactly what it did. It went either way.
And each match was just setting up for the next match, which this one, if I butcher this name, is it Paco or Pacho?
Paco.
Paco. Okay, I had it right the first time. Paco, the
Yes.
challenger, was facing the men's junior heavyweight champion Blackjack, and Blackjack retained.
Blackjack is someone you do not want to play with. Blackjack is he's KCW born and bred. He came over to Dragon Pro when I started the junior heavyweight division. He's a former 2-time X Division champion. Yeah, he is a no nonsense type of dude. When I tell him he's got a match, he just wants to know who's he's cooking. That's all he asks me. And then, with Paco being the rookie, coming in and winning the number one contender match, which honestly I did not expect him to win that match. I really thought he's gonna be the first one eliminated. But for him to make it all the way to the end and to earn that shot and to take Blackjack to the limit, because let's face it, like Blackjack has beaten a lot of people, but Paco really brought the pain to him. It was somebody with a different style, somebody he's never fought before, and yeah, it was. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a killer match. So shouts out to Blackjack, because he definitely set the tone for the junior heavyweights to step their game up, because he's also going to be defending that junior heavyweight title at the Bring the Violence pay-per-view. We just don't know who he's going to be facing yet. So
Blackjack is actually here. Welcome, sir, and welcome, Molly.
Oh, welcome, Mr. Blackjack. Hell yeah. Like I said, Blackjack has set the tone for the junior heavyweight division. He has shown that if you want this title, you're gonna have to earn it. And he took that rookie to school. However, that rookie did bring it.
Yes,
no doubt. He just didn't have enough to take him down. So I give a shout out to Mr. Paco. However, shout out to our junior heavyweight champion, Mr. Blackjack, and he's man. I can't wait to see what he does next.
He says he's ready and a mon ami. And next up, oh sorry, what?
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, for the next up was that triple threat with Amelia Black, Betsy, and Heartless.
Oh,
and with Heartless walking out the winner.
So that match right there. Okay, so as everybody would remember, the last show I did, the Go Home show, I kind of did. I'm not gonna lie, I fucked up.
What do you mean?
I was controlling Amelia. I didn't realize it. That's why she was just standing there the entire match. She just stood there. So like, I didn't notice.
I know you would never do that on purpose.
Yeah,
I know you would.
I never. So I never saw it. Like I didn't recognize it until we watched the show that Sunday. So I was like, all right, well, I got to make that up. So me and Jamie got together and we decided that they were gonna have one more shot, all three of them, and then the winner had to face Jamie that night. And Heartless walked out as the winner. Like honestly, I wasn't surprised. Heartless has been, putting in that work. She's been trying to get her shot. Betsy D is from BWC, so she came in as part of our international people, and she's been killing it as well. Amelia, she's a 2-time international champion, and she was trying to get that title back, and it just happened to be Heartless. And then we saw what happened later on down the line that night.
Indeed we did. And Jamie Lynn, speaking of her, she came into the chat, Miss Jamie, and welcome Miss Rain, Miss Alexa Rain.
This was all the only thing that could have made it perfect, that could have made it better, but 2K has to be an ass about it. I wanted to make Jamie the referee, but I couldn't use the I couldn't use our created arena for her to be in there. When you do a special guest referee, you can only use their arena.
Mhm.
What kind of dumb
Yeah.
crap is that? What kind of dumb crap is that?
It,
Last year we were
it shows
able to
that some
use
of these
our
things
own
are
shit.
questionable, and it's like these are obvious, but they don't do anything about it.
They need to fix that because like
Yeah.
because that was the idea. The idea was to have Jamie as the referee, and then
Hmm.
later on that night they were supposed to face her in the match. And just because 2K wants to be a piece of crap, I couldn't do it. That's why
Apparently,
we
Heartless is
haven't.
smirking at your comments.
Well, at the same time too, like I said, Heartless deserved to be in that match. She's been she's been working her ass off to get to where she is. She feels like she should be in that main event spotlight. However, just because you feel that way doesn't mean it happens that way. You got to earn that way, and she earned her way into that match. And she took out Amelia and she took out Betsy D, two established, well-rounded competitors, and she had her shot. We can say that it was because she had two matches in one night. We can say that she wasn't ready for that match or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that she had her shot. She lost her shot, but she has an opportunity to get another shot. She's not like let's not. Heartless is ranked number two in that women's international to division. So she's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Most indeed, and she has been a strong asset in DPW and AOW and other places. Like you've had to deal with, like
Absolutely.
they've been
And
running a nuisance per se.
and Heartless, as much as Mr. Davis was, he was very interested in the proposal that she made. Heartless came into his office and said she's bringing in some help. She said big money
Oh.
has been traded. She said big money has been traded, and we all know Chambers is weird as fuck. But she decided to bring in some help. So she brought in this young lady named Pinky. And if you haven't seen Pinky, you are in for a treat. I have watched her tapes. I have seen what she does, and Pinky is the newest signee to Nitro. She is exclusive to Nitro. Um, just as Dragon Pro wise, other places I can care less. But she's exclusive to Nitro, and a lot of characters that are gonna come in for now on are gonna be exclusive to certain shows. So that way, because those are the ones that have requested to go to certain shows. Like I had a few people come in. I actually during Wrestlekingdom we got 7 new subscribers and 4 people that
Wow,
wanted to come in and join us and wanted to come in and join us. So like
incredible.
when they come in, they come in as a free agent, and then we as the administration will get together and see who needs them. I have a once again, which I kind of try not to do that, have a full deck
Yeah,
roster. So I can't just be taking people. So for any new people that come in that watch this or whatever, when you come in as a free agent, and then one of the GMs will pick you up for their show. Unless I have room, I can do that. But other than that, that's how it's gonna be.
Chambers said I have nothing to do with them, and Pinky is here with Heartless.
Well, Pinky and Heartless can decide on one or two things. They can either decide on getting singles gold, or they can actually join that tag team division. Let's not forget, Heartless is a former two-time women's Dragon Pro tag team
Yeah,
champion. Because
with Shay, right?
her and Shay have been two-time tag team champions, and it would be interesting to see if Pinky decides to, or Pinky and Heartless decide to join the tag team division, or they can do their separate thing. Whatever they decide it's what's best for business.
Understood. Well said, and we can't wait to see what they choose for their future going forward. And as we move on to that fatal four-way between Aiden Williams, Tommy Gunn, General Lee, and JGW, which Aiden Williams won.
So that match right there, I like to call that the up next match. I'm gonna actually name that. So whoever wins that match is up next for a title shot in that division that they're in. Aiden Williams is a former All-Star International Champion. He got his rematch. He lost his rematch. Now he has an opportunity to face Jack Graves at the Bring the Violence pay-per-view. So we'll see what happens. That should be a good one.
Him and Jack actually have history coming from KCW Worlds Collide when Aiden first came in.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you remember, Aiden was part of BLS, which BLS
Yes,
is no
at one
more.
point, yeah.
So, so now Aiden, which I have to get with him because since there's no BLS, needs to do a whole makeover. And we'll see what happens. Aiden is a former uh all-star champion, but like I said, when you got to stand across the ring, or even when you sign that contract and you see the champion is Jack Graves, it makes you think about it twice. So, uh, good luck to Mr. Aiden. I can't wait to see what he does. But this is the Bring the Violence pay-per-view, and this is right up Jack Graves' alley. I feel like we may be in for a massacre.
Indeed. And welcome, Mr. Johnny Superkicks, who we were talking about earlier.
Yes, Mr. Johnny. Yes. Um, I'm going to get with him too because, like I said, I spoke to Mr. Jack Graves. Sorry, Damian Briggs, and Mr. Damian Briggs has picked. Like I said, he has picked the four people that will be in that match, and I'm going to let him do that. So, Mr. Johnny, keep your eyes out and your ears open.
Wow. Can't wait to see what happens going forward. Some big things coming at your next pay-per-view, which I am very excited for. I love violence, and I think this match, we could almost say, was somewhat violent, as it was a brutal battle, was a triple threat for the DPW Women's Juniors Heavyweight Championship between Foxy, a challenger, Felina, is that how you say her name?
La Familia.
La Familia versus Sky Chang for the title,
Yep,
which Sky Chang was the champion as she walked out champion.
Sky Chang. So, other than Akira, Sky Chang is the second youngest lady on the roster. And she was supposed to be, she wasn't, I didn't really expect her to be as good as she is. And I added her to the junior heavyweight division to help build up that division. And boy, she is doing a great job with doing it. That registered Pokemon catcher, she's got different Pokemon looks for her outfits and stuff like that. That was a fun match. I like that.
Yeah.
I like having fun, interesting matches. Foxy was on the roster last year. If you remember, her name was Star Fox,
Yes,
and
I do remember her.
she was a great asset to the women's division as well. She was also part of the junior heavyweight division. La Familia is new. She's a rookie. She came in not even that was her second match in Dragon Pro, and to be at Wrestle Kingdom for her second match, yeah, I can say the nerves kind of got to her, but Sky, it being Wrestle Kingdom and it being from her home country, yeah, you knew she was gonna win that match. Like I didn't, I kind of wanted, like I couldn't even call it. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't even call it. I'm glad she won, but if one of the other two would have won, I think it would have been just as big. but Sky winning it in her home and walking in and walking out as a champion. That's what her second or third title defense. It's gonna be hard to see who's gonna take that title from her. But the downside for her is that Akira Frost has decided to go back to the women's junior heavyweight division, and she's a former women's junior heavyweight champion herself. So I can't wait to see them two, you know, maybe fight it out, because that would be an interesting match right there.
With this being the big show of the year with all three of these ladies, I thought it was a very impressive matchup on the card, and they really showed out and showed
Hmm.
up. Welcome, Mr. Wildman. And Johnny said, no problem, boss. You know I'm down for what's best for business. As I was saying for the ladies, that was a great matchup, and I hope we get to see those ladies face off in various types of matchups in the futures to come.
Oh, absolutely. Sky has informed me that she will be defending that title at the Bring the Violence pay-per-view, and she's willing to do it in a open challenge. So we're gonna see which junior heavyweight decides to step up to her challenge. It, the more the merrier. Those were her words. She said she doesn't care if it's a triple threat, fatal four-way, 5 or 6. She wants to put on a spectacle. And if she actually does what she says she's gonna do, whoever has the main titles, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. That y'all let the junior heavyweight show y'all out. We'll see what
Most
happens.
indeed, most indeed. And I can't wait to see who will step up or how many shall step up. It'll be insane. And
Absolutely.
this next one, I need to ask you. The two you put into this matchup was perfect. It perfect that he's actually here. Wildman versus Fallen Punishment.
So Fallen Punishment said he
Wildman
wanted to
won.
come in a statement. Oh, absolutely. He said he wanted to come in. He wanted to make a statement. He didn't care who he faced, which is actually kind of funny because when he had this conversation, I was on the phone with Mr. Wildman, and Wildman said, "Book it, boss," and that's what I did. And
So
Wildman
Wildman
showed
requested this.
no punishment, requested it, and Wildman accepted.
Oh, okay, okay. I see. Well,
You know,
perfect. And
there's
then that's what made
the
that such a great
roster.
matchup. They were brutal with each
So,
other. Brutal.
so the roster has this thing about not using the door.
Yeah.
They want to knock down the wall when they come into my office. So I I don't I don't I don't have a door anymore. I just have a big wall that says "knock it down if you want in." And punishment knocked the wall down and said, "I want a match on the biggest stage of them all. I wanted to prove myself against the baddest motherfucker you got." Now, mind you, all of my bad motherfuckers were busy and booked, except for one. And that man, I happened to be on the phone with. We were just chopping it up. We were just talking about old times. And he heard Mr. Punishment issue that challenge. And the only thing I heard on the phone was, "Book it, boss. You got it. You got it." That's what's best for business. And that match delivered because that
Mhm.
young man brought the pain to Wild Man. But as like I tell everybody else, do not sleep on Wild Man. Do not sleep on
Yep.
that dude. Now,
Mythic
oh,
said,
Mr.
maybe Mythic will destroy the corporate DPW headquarters next time he enters the office. That wouldn't be the first time.
Absolutely, it wouldn't be the first time. And I could just rewind time and that wouldn't happen. And Mythic talks a lot of shit, but I just smile and nod when he says stuff. But anyway,
Smile and
I
wave.
wanted to correct something. I wanted to correct something that was said on the Leo Blade and Frost podcast you did. When Wildman was talking about 3-0, he was 3-1. He was talking about Frost and him 3-1. So I'll give you a little bit of history lesson because I'm glad he's here. He can come up too if he would like to. Um,
I did
Wildman
invite him, but
was
he declined it, so I probably think he's busy.
yeah, he's busy. Wildman and Frost were in DTKA. While Frost was the world he wasn't the world champion yet. They had three matches. Wildman beat him, and then Frost won the DTKA World Championship. They had their their title match, and everybody thought that Wildman was gonna win. And what happened, Wildman? I tapped you out. Tap tap tap, tippity tap, 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 tippity tap. When the title was on the line, that's what mattered. All those other three wins, those were learning lessons. And I learned a lot wrestling Wildman. He's another ghost from Frost's past. That is another 2 year match in the making that should happen down the line. So you will see Frost versus Wildman for in some kind of form over here in Dragon Pro
Who
because
knows? It could also happen in IWA.
I have in IWA I have something different in mind. Me and Wildman have had some conversations. We have had some talks, and this is not GM David. This is Frost and Wildman. A Frost and Wildman match will happen eventually, but there's other business that I need to handle, and it's always good to have some allies in your corner. And Wildman and Frost, even though they are like they're different, they're similar in a lot of stuff, and you never know. You never know. I'll just leave it at that. You never know.
Understood, good sir. Welcome, Miss Amelia Black. And
Ah,
as we moved on, we go into a match. You had two gauntlets this night. This was the first one, a six-man gauntlet eliminator for the men's internet championship. It had names like Big Lou, Bobo, Tomahawk, Akane, and with Bobo coming out the new champion, and not to add, I mean to add, that he came out at number one. Number one.
Bobo he's a very interesting talent. He
Yes, he is.
he's the type of talent. Yes, that's all I can say. He's a very interesting talent. He's a talent that is very controversial to a certain point. You never know what this man is going to do, and the fact that he's been around Dragon Pro for as long as he has and not have been given any kind of championship match was to me a travesty because it was something I overlooked, something that I had to rectify. And damn, that's all I got to say about it was goddamn did he not deliver? Did he not walk in and walk out as the internet
He
champion? Like
did.
he does says and he does some things that I got to put him in the corner for. But at the end of the day, Bobo winning that title at number one was honestly one of my matches of the night because this man came in at number one, and beat all of them.
The
Can't
unpredictability
take
of
that away from him.
DPW.
Can't take that away from him.
Hell yeah. Was a great matchup, and all the other competitors that came in, like I was saying, Big Lou, Akane, and all of them, like freaking, they all put up a great effort, but in the end, Bobo walked out number one. And Mythic raised Bobo as his pet in EPW to annoy Insidious, but since Mythic brutally was too much, he created a psychotic lunatic clown, which we all know as Bobo the Clown.
Whatever he said, I don't care.
Uh,
All I can do is smile and nod.
uh, well, next up, we were actually talking about this lady earlier, the DPW Ivory Coast Women's Champion, Emma Stone, took on Kay Slay, with Emma Stone retaining.
So that match right there was another face-off championship match. I didn't really know too much about what was going on. I just knew that they had a match coming up. I spoke to the GM of Face Off. He said whatever match I felt was necessary for them to finish this feud, and that's what I did. Emma Stone, like I tell people, she's sneaky. She
Mm-hmm.
snuck her way into that title match. She snuck her way to the title. Like it was a ladder match. Everybody over there fighting. She came from the school of Frost as well. She don't play around with ladder matches. None of the characters I have play around with ladder matches. They're gonna get the ladder. They're gonna put it up. They're gonna try to end it, and that's exactly what she did. So going into that match, uh, it was a lot of pressure on Emma Stone because This was her second appearance at Wrestle Kingdom. Her first appearance, she did really well, and she walked out as the women's open weight champion. But this year, she walked in as champion, and it was interesting to see because the spotlight was different this time. It's easy to walk in it's easy to walk in as a challenger because you know what you got to do. Walking in as champion and walking out, that's kind of tough, and he made it happen. So I can't wait to see what happens on Friday night.
And I will have to say this, like when you say that people sleep on Emma Stone, I will say right now, never once slept on her because she freaking is a very tough cookie. She is sneaky and agile, and she's not afraid to show it. And come
Emma Stone.
Wrestle Kingdom
Emma
4,
Stone.
who knows? She could be champion still.
Absolutely. So what people don't understand is that Emma Stone is hold on. Emma Stone is the longest reigning DPW Women's Television Champion ever. She defended that title 12 times, and nobody could take that belt off of her. Nobody could. The fact that the fact that she lost it in a fatal four way and Kaiba won it in a fatal four way was the only reason why she lost it. If Kaiba wasn't in that match and it wasn't a fatal four way, she would have been it would have been 13, 14 times maybe. But I had that belt on her, and she defended that title 12 times, and she was she was a force. But she never won the Women's King of Dragons Championship. So when I brought her back, and she won the Women's Championship, and she defended it, a couple of times, I thought that was cool. And then when she had that match against Akira, I was like, I don't think Akira's gonna win this one. And when Akira won it, I was like, wow. I don't
Apparently,
know.
Johnny's jealous that Rel drafted Emma before him.
Yeah. So, like I said, how we did the draft, um, we did the draft. Whoever ran first was the person that got the first draft pick. And we all know that Deb runs on Wednesdays. So it was Deb, Johnny, Rail, then me. And everybody chose my top picks. So I had to improvise.
Yeah.
That's why I got the picks I got. But when I said Emma Stone was up on the draft pool, yeah, they wanted her. And you see what happened. So she can go anywhere, and
Indeed.
she can prove herself to be a champion.
And she's already the Ivory Coast champion. Makes you wonder what will happen going forward and who will step up to face her. And if the question is, can she be beaten with this newfound, like I know she's always had it, but there could be something different there that she might bring to the table than we've seen before.
Absolutely. Like she used to roll with the little faction I used to call Stone Stone Inc. So you never know. She might have to bring that back.
I think we talked
You never
about this
know.
once when we were on the live, because that name sounds awfully familiar. So I think that you and I talked about this one.
Oh yeah, it was her husband, his tag team, and another woman. And they were all
Respect.
from England. They were all part of that Blackpool strong style kind of combat fighting style.
Bare
So
knuckle
you never know what might
brawlers.
happen. Absolutely. and she ran the whole thing. So you never know what might happen.
Most indeed. And next up after that great matchup, we had the DPW Ivory Coast Men's Championship between the challenger, Evil Johnny, versus the champion, The Menace, with Menace retaining the belt.
So once again, that's another match. I didn't really know too much about what was going on. I just know the GM said booked them in a Hell in a Cell 2 out of 3. I went with it. I know Evil Johnny's reputation. I don't know the Malice reputation too well. But after that match, the Malice has earned my respect as a fighting champion. But I do not think this is the end between him and Evil Johnny. They call him
Evil
Evil
Johnny's
Johnny
not
for
called evil for a reason, for no reason.
exactly. You don't just call this man evil and think it's cute. He'll find a way to get his hands on that title eventually.
Most indeed. And freaking next up was was the other gauntlet of the night, was the 6-women gauntlet. You want to run us through that?
The 6-women gauntlet. So it had the champion was Artemis. You had I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't remember who was in that match. But it was a good match though. And I do know Big Fran. Big Fran. She is the sister of Primetime JoJo. She came in the Dragon Pro on some very, she came from IPW. She has a very great lineage over there in IPW. So for her to come over here, and this is like, I think this was her 3rd match, and she's undefeated. And she walked in and walked out as champion.
Wow.
I had to give her respect on that one. But she's got she's got a lot of, I want to say, big shoes to fill, because being a sister of one of the best men that do the sneaky game in the job, the man that taps people out, former Universal champion, Primetime JoJo, and even being a cousin of Andre Robinson, she has got a lot to prove. So we'll see what happens. But she's already proven that titles come to them easily. That was her 3rd match.
No title comes easily, that's for sure.
Absolutely, but she made it look easy. That's all I gotta say. She made it look easy.
Exactly.
Bloody and
There
all.
was like some of these people that won that came in and walked out with the belt that they walked in with.
Absolutely. That was a crazy, yes. It was insane.
This next one, I really like the man that's in this match. I am really admiring his work as of late since I first saw him in TXT. It was the Hell in a Cell for the DPW Face-Off Championship. The champion, AOK, retained against Pumpkin Jack. Pumpkin Jack. He may not have won, but I like the guy. He impresses me.
Pumpkin
AOK,
Jack is
another impressive talent.
AOK being the son of Mr. Rail that runs Face Off. I know what AOK is all about. I know, he's been with DPW for a minute now. He's also running with the NBA and stuff like that. And, Rail can vouch for that stuff whenever he sees it or whatever. I don't remember. But AOK is on this thing about trying to impress his dad. And once he gets over that impressing his dad thing, then I can see AOK being the top dog, being the showrunner, being the main eventer. Like, everything I think he's doing now, he's doing to impress his dad. And let's face it, TMR, I love TMR, that's my boy and everything, but AOK has got a little bit of a better track record than TMR right now.
I have no doubt about that.
But Pumpkin Jack, I've known Pumpkin Jack for a very, 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 very long time. And he has, actually, you want to know something funny? on another show during Wrestle Kingdom, Pumpkin Jack and Frost had a match in a ladder match, and Pumpkin Jack won and walked out with one of the titles that I had. So
Wow.
that just proves that Pumpkin Jack is one of those people. He's a wild card. You never know when
Exactly.
he's gonna. You never know. He could. Despite the pumpkin on his head, which I love that, and the fucking I go glowing eyes and shit. That shit is
Right.
dope.
I think that's so fucking cool. It's awesome.
If Pumpkin Jack is the face of your company, it's gonna be hilarious. And you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
He has the tendency. He has the tendency to do that. He has the ability to do that. So it's only a matter of time. No matter where he goes, I feel like Pumpkin Jack is going to be like a big draw, especially over here in Dragon Pro. He's a big draw.
Facts. No doubt about that there, sir. And next up was the All-Star Women's International Championship. The challenger Heartless versus the champion Jamie, which Jamie walked in and retained.
Now we can say that we can say that Heartless had two matches. We can say that it was politics or whatever. You can say whatever you want, but the fact of the matter is, these two ladies walked into that ring, gave it their all, and Jamie won. That's the only thing I can say about it. She won. You know, she, they all. Jamie learned from Jim Davis. She learned from Frost. She learned from Mythic. She's not gonna make things easy for you to take that title. So the fact that it was all on her, that those ladies fight it first, and then fight her next, it was best for business.
Most
That's
indeed.
the only thing I can say about that one. I was reading some of the comments.
No. You're all good, sir. You're all good. I have not seen any comments pop in on my end yet, but if they are popping up on your end,
No, the only one I saw was Johnny saying that drafted Emma first.
yeah,
Which Johnny did. He did want to her. He did want to her first, which I will agree to that. But like Arel picking her like right off the bat, that was kind of dope.
yes, it was indeed. And sir, I am gonna have to request something before we move on to the next matchup. We can we? I'm gonna need to end this one, but then I'm gonna need to do a part two. Like, do you mind if I need to do a part two because it's coming to a minute
That's
mark.
fine.
All right,
That's fine.
I will be like literally right back.
All right, that's cool.
This is part one, ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen, of Wrestle Kingdom. We will come back for part two. Stay with us.